What's going on, YouTube? It's the God Achilles here. I'm bringing you guys a brand new YouTube video here today. And as you guys know, as of today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Warzone dropped in Call of Duty. So I'm going to be giving you guys roughly a general idea of the class setup that you should be running for when you get your loadouts in the game, so that you can optimize if you're going for high kills or if you're going just the general playstyle you should have. There are multiple ways you can play the game. I'm going to give you two class setups I highly suggest you should be running. So this is the one that I run. So what we're going to get into is first I'm going to go over the perks, because the perks do change in Warzone. And as you can see, indicated by the Warzone only, is if you equip this perk in Warzone, this is the effect that you're going to get, not in multiplayer, obviously. So we're going to go here and, double time, I would definitely say that the best one to run in this category would probably either be Quick Fix, Kill Chain, or EOD, 100%. If you're finding yourself you're running out of ammo, you could run Scavenger, but I would say either EOD, Kill Chain, or Quick Fix, because Quick Fix is going to give, anytime you kill somebody, is going to immediately start your health regen, which is definitely nice. But I personally run Kill Chain because it increases my chance of finding kill streaks through supply boxes, and kill streaks are really, really, really overpowered in this mode, if I'm being completely honest. The precision airstrike is crazy. So after that, this part out of these two, I'm gonna tell you, out of these two, it's either gonna be, you're either gonna have to run Overkill or High Alert. And I'm gonna say that High Alert is going to be a more high skill than Overkill. But if you're the type of person that likes to have all your grounds covered, I'm gonna say Overkill is going to be your best friend. But High Alert, because it's going to give you a visual ping whenever somebody is looking at you that you're not looking at. So that's going to let you know that you're being looked at by somebody. And in a battle royale, knowing that somebody's looking at you can truly be the defining factor in a gunfight. So I would say that High Alert is definitely going to be one of those things that, as we see the meta and the game mode develop, I'm going to say that High Alert is going to be a better perk in here, but I'm never going to say that Overkill is bad. Now, the reason that Overkill is good is because not only can you run a sniper, which I do suggest running in this game mode, but a sniper and another primary, obviously. So then, you kind of have like two things you can do here. I would either say that the best class setup would either be Tracker, because you're going to see enemy footprints, and tracing where people are going throughout the map is never a bad thing. You could definitely use Battle Hardened, because people do flash quite a lot. Or the other one you could use is Tune Up, because Tune Up's going to revive your teammates. Now, I'm going to say I would only run Tune Up if you're going to run squads, but if you're more of like a solo squad player and you don't necessarily like have a set team, or you're going to you're challenging yourself trying to do things all solo, Tune Up isn't going to be the best option for you. At that point, I would tell you to run Tracker or Battle Hardened. So those are going to be the perks that I'm going to suggest. So now we're going to get into the actual class setup. Like, obviously my tactical is always going to be Stim Shot, because Stim Shot is just way too good to not use. Having instant health regen is so crucial in a battle royale, and for those of you that don't know, after a certain amount of time in this game mode, your health does regen, but your armor does not. So you get 3 armor plates, and that's it. You get 3 armor plates in your health. So having a Stim Shot to be able to get that health back to win the gunfight is essentially crucial. Your lethal is pretty much whatever you feel is going to work best for you. I run C4, but it's truly whatever works best for you. So now I'm going to get into the actual class up, and there's going to be a couple of variations to this. Obviously, I'm going to tell you to run the HDR. The HDR is just so good in this game mode, specifically because there's so much high ground and there's so much free reign for snipers, that if you're running the HDR, you're just going to get kills that you just can't get anywhere else. Not only that, it's going to give you it's going to give you intel outside of just killing people. So it's going to let you know where people are at. You can mark them at farther ranges for your team. Just general stuff like that. I think that the HDR in your loadout, in your Warzone loadout, is going to be crucial. Now, obviously, this is the loadout that I'm rocking for the HDR. It's a monolithic suppressor, 26.9 HDR Pro, the 9-round mag and focus with the dual power thermal scope. Thermal is so good in this game mode, it's not even real, but and thermal just in general in this game is super, super good. Obviously, I didn't put my camo on here, so we gotta throw my camo on, obviously. But that would be the HDR setup that I would run. Now, this is where I could say that you could vary this class setup. I would say 100% you should be running a sniper, but if you don't like to snipe, I do have a class setup for you. So this is where you can pretty much choose between 3 guns, because these guns are all practically the same. You could either use the Grau, the Ram, or the M4. Those are going to be the guns that I suggest you use in this. So I would say you would want to use like the Ram if you still want to have assault rifle based range on a gun that can still do well close range. I would say the Ram is probably your best friend. The Ram is the best of both worlds, if I'm being completely 100% honest with you. I would say the Grau and the M4. The Grau is a little more long range, so if you like to kind of stay back, I would say the Grau is probably a better suit for you. And then the M4 it's the M4. Legitimately, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, there have been multiple videos on this gun already.
Still ready to run.
So after, sorry about that. So after that, I'm going to 100% say that after the M4, let's say you don't like the M4, I would say probably the Ram or the Grau are going to be your best bets. Those guns are just way too good to not use. I think they outclass every other AR in this category by far. So now I'm going to give you a different class setup that you guys could try out if you don't want to snipe. So I 100% am a firm believer that you should. So this class setup, instead of overkill, I'd be running high alert. And let's say I don't like tracker. I'd probably say battle hardened would be your next best one. Excuse me. So I would say battle hardened, or yeah, probably battle hardened. I guess you could say you could run spotter, but I don't see it. I would say tracker or battle hardened are your 2 best perks to go to here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So high alert's going to give you that visual pulse whenever you're not looking at somebody. So for this, I would 100%. I would run a Desert Eagle, and then pick up another gun when you can. But for this, I would say your best bet is probably going to be run the Grau or the Ram. The Grau, Ram, or the M4. 100%. Just because they all do well. They all do pretty well close range. They all do well at medium range. And they do have long range capabilities. They're just the 3 top, in my opinion, they're the 3 top assault rifles in the entire game. So if you're not running them, you're kind of being decimated by them. So this would be the Ram setup that I would personally run. Would be I don't have it unlocked yet, but the XRK Ranger barrel, the monolithic suppressor, the Commando foregrip, stipple grip tape, and I would run a reflex. I would run like a GI mini reflex. If you like the iron sights, I would swap the GI mini reflex off, and I would get the 50 round magazine. Because you're just gonna be able to shoot longer. So let's say you like the Grau better. What I would suggest for the Grau would be once again monolithic suppressor, but I don't have it unlocked. I just recently unlocked these guns because I'm a scrub. Definitely going to be this barrel here. This will be the so not the Archangel if you want to go more long range, or if you like the iron sights better. But the Happy Medium barrel, I forget what it's called. But for right now, I'll throw the Archangel on. I like the iron sight, so I don't use an optic. I 100% say you should run 50 round mags and Commando foregrip. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and stippled grip tape, or the XRK Void. I'm sorry, because this is going to give you that mobility. So this would be one of the class setups I would run. Just swap this for monolithic suppressor. This is kind of a more longer range one, but you could easily make this a happy medium between all if you just simply swap the barrel to I forget what it's actually called, but that would be the Grau setup I would use. And obviously we're going to get into the one that those 2 guns are made off of, which is simply the M4. I'll just do the baseline M4 just so it doesn't take me long. So I would, once again, monolithic suppressor, either the Corvus Marksman barrel or the M16 stock Grenadier. I personally like the Marksman barrel better. I would also I use a GI mini reflex because I don't like the M4's iron sights.
Get some tape for it.
then I would get the commando foregrip.
In case you want to cut out when it's
So
not
1,
pushed.
2, 3, 4, and then here is kind of up to you. You can run a 50-round mag, or you can run stipple grip tape for the extra mobility. And if those aren't it, you don't want either of those, I would highly suggest going for either a no stock or the Singard Arms Invader. And that would be the ideal M4 setup for you. It's just kind of you take it how you want. Let's say you don't want to be loud or you don't want the extended range. You're only using this at medium range. You could drop the monolithic suppressor and then you could also get a 50-round mag. Kind of up to you at this point. But really, that's kind of about it. But I'm gonna say for as of right now, the best gun, the best class setup for me personally in the game is going to be running Overkill with Tracker. And if you want to run it, you'd either be running it Overkill with a sniper or a shotgun. Because shotgun's one shot. Like, if all the pellets hit, the shotgun will one shot. I've one-tapped people pretty much all the way through all their armor with just the model. So if you wanted to run a 725, if your shot's really, really good, this is definitely the one I would run. Where is it? Where's Choke? Oh yeah, I have that on a version of this.
EV.
So you get Choke for the tighter bullet spread. I would obviously use the last barrel. I take that off because I don't need it. And you could run slug rounds if you truly wanted to snipe somebody with it, but I don't think. And I would run sleight of hand. Sleight of hand simply for the sheer fact that it's only a 2-barrel, it's only a 2-shot shotgun. So if you go anything more, like you're just gonna die because you can't reload fast enough. And the reason I say Choke is going to it's gonna narrow your spread. So it's going to put all the pellets on somebody's chest, and you're not going to have to worry about the pellets missing. So this would be the class setup I would use for an Overkill no sniper. Definitely want a shotgun. If you want a pure sniper one with if you want it, you could run an SMG. Like, I could go on and on, but I'm just saying the M4, the Grout, and the Ram are probably going to be your best bets.
Dude, the RPG, he's killing me.
Someone's raging in my chat for the RPG. The RPG's nuts.
Where they need to take that out or fix
that would be my suggestion for class setups in the Warzone when you actually get your full kitted loadout. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was kind of a longer video. It was a little bit all over the place. I haven't recorded in quite a while, but I figured I'd get this video out to you guys so you guys know generally the rule of thumb which you should be running in Ground War. Pretty much, if it's good in multiplayer, it's gonna be good in Warzone. I'm sorry, not Ground War. Like, if it's good in multiplayer, it's gonna be good in Warzone. So just take that and put it over into Warzone, and you're good. Like, pretty much play Warzone like you would play Ground War, but you just have to shoot people twice as much because they have armor plates. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy or found any of this helpful, I want to ask you to please be sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at @thegodachilles_. Down in the description below. And if you guys see this now, I will probably be live on Twitch, so go ahead and follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/thegodachilles. But YouTube, this was God Achilles. I'm out. Peace.
Oh shit.